Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
And you don't need to reach for the heaviest winter coat. Our temperatures are a lot warmer. We'll talk about warm temperatures, but rain on the way in our forecast.
Danger at the park. A Raleigh mother says a man flashed her while she was walking. What police are doing after dealing with similar cases in recent months.
And property tax debate. State lawmakers are trying to figure out the best way to lower them for North Carolinians. The hurdles they face to get that done. It is 6 o'clock on your Wednesday morning, and we are clearing that hurdle of any cold mornings. The temperatures feel very mild out there, and it's going to feel warmer. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levigan. No puffy coat today. Just a nice light jacket leaf for me when I walked out the house this morning, Elizabeth. Today, I'm probably not even going to need that light jacket later as it starts to get warmer.
We're going to climb into the upper 60s for this afternoon, but it's probably going to be a bit cloudier than it was yesterday. We're going to start off with a little bit of cloud cover this morning. We're looking down Fayetteville Street here toward the Capitol building, and you can see the flags are flying a bit. It's a little bit on the breezy side and becoming windier this afternoon. Right now, our wind is out of the southwest at 13, which is pretty strong for a morning wind. 53 is our temperature in the Triangle, 51 in Fayetteville, 47 in Rocky Mount, and 52 in Roxborough. And these temperatures are anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So again, you don't need to grab for that very heavy winter coat. Starting off this morning with as much as 50% of the sky covered in clouds. Later this afternoon, it's probably going to go to around 70 to 80% of the sky covered with clouds, but we do stay dry today. Our temperatures climb into the upper 60s for highs this afternoon, but tomorrow we get into a chance of showers. Most of the rain is likely to be north of the Triangle area, but it kicks off a wet pattern for us. I'll show you how long it lasts. Kid?
Elizabeth, at 6:01, no trouble spots to report at this hour. As you take a live look at I-40 at Carytown Boulevard, you can see traffic flowing at a nice steady clip in all directions. And that's really what we're seeing on all of our major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area. No delays whatsoever on I-40 coming in from Durham or even from Garner-Johnston County on I-40 westbound, all delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Durham police are investigating reports of shots fired on South Roxborough Street. And what you're seeing here is video from just before 3 this morning. Police confirm that there were no injuries, and at last check, there are no suspects. A warning from a Raleigh mom who says a man exposed himself to her at a city park, and she wants other women like her to be on high alert. Let's go ahead and bring in WRAL's Ali Kavdabar. She's at Biltmore Hills Park this morning where this happened. And Ali, this is not the first case police are investigating like this.
Yeah, WRAL actually reported about similar incidents like this about 3 months ago. And most recently, Mysetta Alston was walking here at Biltmore Hills Park when she felt like someone was following her. She then turned around and saw someone exposing themselves to her and harassing her.
I couldn't believe my eyes at first. So I was very shooken up and stress sweating and shaky for like a while after. Literally, I called the police.
Now, before Alston called, she says she took this video showing the man who exposed himself walking away. She says she waited about 30 minutes, but an officer had not shown up. WRAL reported on several women being flashed along Crabtree Creek Trail back in November. Police told us officers frequently patrol greenways. The city even upgraded cameras back in 2022. But the city and police acknowledged the gaps in coverage. We reached out to Raleigh police after learning about Alston's case. They say it's under investigation, but this morning we're reaching out asking how many incidents like this have been reported at City Park since November. Also, what is being done to prevent crimes like this in parks. Of course, when we hear back, we'll let you know. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kavdabar, WRAL News.
Happening today, state lawmakers will be focusing on potential changes to the property taxes you pay. WRL's Kelsey Coffey is live at the Legislative Building in Raleigh this morning. Kelsey, lawmakers are trying to find ways to bring these taxes down for North Carolinians.
Yes, Renee, today state lawmakers are going to talk about some options to help lower your property taxes. This is a conversation that we've been following for a while here at the legislative building. State lawmakers are debating whether they should order changes to property taxes or if they even have the authority to do that. City and county leaders set property tax rates, not the state government. And all that money stays local, funding parks, schools, and police. So where does the state legislature come in? They're not entirely sure yet. Today, they'll brainstorm about how they could lower property taxes without hurting local government funding. The housing price index here in North Carolina rose to an all-time high last year, according to federal data. And polling shows that cost of living is top of mind for a lot of people since inflation hit. If you want a full breakdown of this effort to lower property taxes, head to WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Authorities in Arizona say they are doing everything they can in their search for Nancy Guthrie. Google confirmed the company is trying to help gather more video evidence from Guthrie's doorbell camera. Investigators are looking into the suspect's holster and a possible ring being worn under the glove. These new developments come after there was not a match for the DNA found on a glove that was miles from Guthrie's house. Investigators are looking into genealogy and partial DNA found at the home. As law enforcement enters another day of searching, the Pima County Sheriff is still hopeful.
Believe that she's still alive. There's great chance that she's not because of her meds and those things, but I have nothing to, people ask, well, do you have proof of life? I ask, do you have proof of death? We're going to go with faith and hope that we find Nancy, she's safe and sound.
County Sheriff's Office and FBI continue to field thousands of leads in the case. The FBI is also offering a $100,000 reward for any information leading to them finding Nancy Guthrie. We have followed new developments in this case since the beginning, and you can find our coverage on the WRAL YouTube channel. Just search Nancy Guthrie and watch our WRAL evening newscast for any updates throughout the day. Our evening newscasts start at 4 p.m.
A massive cleanup is underway after 240 million gallons of raw sewage spilled into the Potomac River. The spill happened after a massive sewer pipe collapsed last month in Maryland. At first, E. coli levels reached more than 10,000 times above EPA quality standards. Now those levels are going down, but the river is still off limits for boating, fishing, and even touching the water. President Donald Trump blames Maryland's Democratic governor for the collapse. However, the governor says the pipe was built through federal means. Repairs could take months.
Today in Granville County, the Sheriff's Office is hosting a prayer vigil for the people involved in a shooting last month in Stovall. Tonight's vigil will honor the life of Ryan Ellington. People there will also be praying for the recovery of Julian Stovall. Back on January 9th, deputies responded to that shooting at the Family Dollar on US 15. Ellington died on the scene, and Stovall faces an uphill battle in his recovery. 19-year-old Aiden Moss has been charged with first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder in that shooting. The vigil will be at the Corey's Used Tires on US 15 in Stovall at 6:30 p.m. The person behind the Raleigh mass shooting is now in prison. Records show Austin Thompson was booked into Central Prison in Raleigh. He was sentenced to 5 life sentences last week without the possibility of parole. When Thompson was 15, he killed his brother and 4 other people in the Headingham neighborhood and nearby Ringway in 2022. There's often a waiting period between a criminal being sentenced and booked into prison.
A man in Edgecombe County is recovering this morning after being shot. Police say the shooting happened in Pine Tops near East Lashley and South 2nd Streets. The man was taken to the hospital in Tarboro and is expected to be okay. We're working to learn more about any suspects.
The town of Holly Springs approved new protections for minorities and the LGBTQ community. The same protections passed by other cities and towns across Wake County years ago. This non-discrimination ordinance prohibits discrimination based on race, hairstyles, sexual orientation, and more. Any employer or business that violates that ordinance could face mediation and, if necessary, mandatory changes. Town Council approved that ordinance 5-1.
My personal thought on this as a business owner is that the NDO doesn't change what good businesses are already doing.
Holly Springs previously voted on this ordinance back in 2022. All 6 current town council members have been elected since then. Some residents did raise concerns last night that the new rules could be a burden on businesses.
Today is Ash Wednesday, and a local church is making sure people can get their blessings to go. Christ the King Lutheran Church in Cary is hosting its annual Ashes to Go service this morning. Starting at 7 a.m., people can show up to the church on Walnut Street and receive their blessing. That will last until 9:30 in the upper parking lot. The church will also have on-site worship services at 11 this morning and at 6:30 tonight. It is 6:09 now on your Wednesday morning, remembering Jesse Jackson. People across the country are mourning the loss of the civil rights icon, his ties to North Carolina, and how local leaders are remembering him.
Plus, avalanche rescue. Skiers in California are missing after a snowstorm hit the Sierra Nevada mountains. The rescue operation that's ahead for first responders.
And we're going to see our fair share of rain starting tomorrow. And you can see it lasts all the way through Sunday, but it's not going to rain the entire time. We'll walk you through the timeline coming up.
And here are your winning Mega Millions numbers. We have 3, 37, 44, 52, and 63. The gold Mega Ball is 14.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:12, we start with a live look here at Rocky Mount Mills. You can see the water tower here in front of the powerhouse. Our skies are variably cloudy this morning. We're going to see a few holes in the clouds here and there, but as the sun comes up, we're likely to see some spots that are fairly cloudy, and that'll be the case for the bulk of the day today. The big thing you'll notice when you open the door, it doesn't feel as cold as yesterday. 52 in Lewisburg, 45 in Tarboro, 52 in Irwin, 47 in Rocky Mount. So temperatures were all in the 50s just a little while ago, starting to drop just a little bit, but still running, at least 20 degrees warmer than yesterday. At lunchtime, 63. If you have the opportunity to get out and walk around the block at lunch, it's going to feel great. And temperatures climb into the upper 60s this afternoon. Today's going to be a good day to get outside if you have the opportunity, because after that, we get into a wetter pattern. We'll walk through it coming up. Ken?
Yeah, we had lots of playground time yesterday, Elizabeth, and I think there's some more in my future. Hey, what's in your future delay-free commute this morning so far as we take a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road right now? These are the westbound lane coming toward us. And if I-40 westbound is part of your morning commute, we're not seeing any delays whatsoever. That southern loop of the Beltline, you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, or you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the cartoonist in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center this morning, Chinese Lunar New Year currently underway, celebrations happening. And with that, we're learning this morning of an explosion, a firework explosion that killed 12 people, the second such explosion as the country celebrates the Lunar New Year. And what you're looking at right now is people gathering for those celebrations. Well, emergency responders say that they put out a blaze at the fireworks shop, and investigators are now looking into the cause of the explosion. Fireworks, as we know, are a large part of the Lunar New Year celebration in China, but their use has also been the cause of multiple accidents. On Sunday, there was another incident involving fireworks that killed 8 people. The central government right now warning people of the dangers and telling people to stay safe while celebrating.
You hate to hear about such a tragedy during a joyous time. Well, in Nevada County, California, 9 skiers are missing after an avalanche. 6 more are waiting to be rescued. The skiers are currently sheltering in place. The sheriff's office says the avalanche happened late yesterday morning. The rescue will take some time because there is still a high avalanche risk in the area.
Well, right now, the interstate's closed because of zero visibility. They're reaching the site. We're sending rescue workers in from a couple different locations so that we can attempt to get in there. It's going to be slow going. We have brought in snowcats. We have snowmobilers on standby. We have individuals on skis. So we have several different ways that people are attempting to get in there.
Authorities say there are roughly 46 rescuers trying to get to the skiers.
People across the nation are mourning the death of civil rights pioneer Jesse Jackson. His life was defined by a relentless fight for justice and equality, and that legacy began right here in North Carolina. You see, in 1987, Reverend Jackson announced one of his presidential runs while in Raleigh. Reverend Jackson took up the mantle after the death of Martin Luther King Jr. Former North Carolina NAACP President Bishop William Barber learned from Jackson and often marched alongside him. Barber called him a moral leader.
He fought to protect what was won in the civil rights movement. not just for black people. He often spoke of how the Civil Rights Movement, the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act of 64 benefited black people, women, white women, men, poor people.
Jackson attended North Carolina A&T University, and his life work was dedicated to improving economic conditions for all communities and paved the way for a more progressive Democratic Party. You can learn more about Jesse Jackson's legacy, local connections, and historic speeches on WRAL.com. You'll also find statements from the people who knew and worked with him. You can also look for the additional stories on WRAL's YouTube channel.
2 more medals for Team USA at the Winter Games yesterday, and more could be on the way today. Jay Gray is live in Milan this morning with a preview of today's competitions. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, Renee. And yeah, let's get some more medals here, right? Momentum definitely building for Team USA right now in the final stretch of these Olympic Games. And for the Americans, finding a silver lining, we could say, in the mountains as well as on the ice means nothing but more success.
American Mac Forehand going huge in the Big Air Finals, flipping to the podium on his final jump, landing a gnarly triple cork 2160 and the silver medal.
I couldn't have done anything better than that. That's like as hard as I could have gone. It doesn't feel real still. It probably won't feel real for the next week, so time to celebrate, I guess.
On the oval, the U.S. trio and team pursuit matching the best ever American finish in the event, taking home silver. With a strong short program, Alyssa Liu in 3rd place in women's singles. Teammates Isabeau Levito and Amber Glenn in 8th and 13th going into Thursday's final free skate. Retiring as a 16-year-old after a 6th place finish in Beijing, Liu returned to the ice 2.5 years ago, and this time around, cherishing her Olympic experience.
And I think the emotions really got to me because my siblings are out there, my family, and like my best friend. I'm really happy and I'm excited to do the free.
For Sanderson. Excitement building for the men's hockey squad looking to stay alive in the medal round as they take on Sweden later today in a quarterfinals matchup.
Yeah, and look, that's going to be a big test. The American men, they have gotten better each time they've been on the ice here in the Olympic tournament, but they haven't played a team like Sweden yet. This is going to be their toughest opponent so far because just like the U.S. and Canada, the Swedish team is made up entirely, Renee, of NHL players. So it's going to be fast, it's going to be aggressive, and again, it's a must win. If they don't win here, they go home.
We will certainly be watching. Jay Gray live in Milan. Thank you as always.
Thank you.
Hanging here at the WRAL Severe Weather Center desk with Elizabeth Gardner, kind of getting us a look at how things are right now over in Milan. So what are the conditions like?
You know, it looked pretty good there with Jay Gray, but it does look like there is at least some rain in the forecast, and maybe a little bit later today they'll see some of that, and mid-50s. But you remember, Milan is down here in the valley, and of course, all, you know, the skiing and the snowboarding and all of that is up in some of the higher elevations. And they've done pretty well. They've had to make some snow for these Olympics. And of course, we're all excited about the Salt Lake City Olympics in 2034. But they've had a really rough year in terms of snow. They're in a snow drought. So tonight at 6 o'clock, I'll talk about what they'll do in 2034 if there is a snow drought. Let's take a look at what we're seeing. Of course, we've got a beautiful day in our forecast. We'll have some cloud cover, but our temperatures will climb into the 60s and 70s over the next couple of days. We do have some scattered showers in the forecast starting tomorrow. So today's going to be a great day to be outside without having to worry about it. Here's a look at the big picture. This high pressure system sliding offshore, rotating clockwise, and that helped to pull all the warmth into the area starting yesterday. Warm front to the north will help to produce a few showers tomorrow, and then this cold front on Friday could help to bring us a few isolated thunderstorms. So we have multi-day rain in our forecast, but none of it is going to be all day. So we start off with today and looking at a 0% chance of rain today. Lots of snow out west, much needed snow. And as this system moves eastward, we'll have the warm front crossing our area front with a small chance for rain tomorrow, especially in our northern counties. Cold front approaches and brings us a chance of thunderstorms on Friday with a 60% chance of rain. And then on Saturday, it's a 50% chance as the system stalls over us. But again, none of these days are going to produce rain all day long. This is tomorrow at 6 in the morning, and you can see we're dry but cloudy. Notice a few showers, especially up near the Virginia line, and maybe a few sprinkles during the afternoon. So we're not talking about a lot of rain on Thursday. Our approaching front on Friday could bring some severe storms to parts of the Midwest, but we're not likely to see that here. Instead, we could have a small chance for thunderstorms, but the severe threat looks minimal. Friday will be our best chance with the cold front coming through, and then that chance of showers continuing into Saturday. We're looking at the potential for maybe anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of rain. And for comparison purposes, last Sunday when we saw the rain, it was right around an inch. It is going to be warm while it's raining. On Friday, 75 degrees. And we'll talk about how close that could end up being to a record high. And of course, after that, once the system comes through, we're looking at much colder temperatures. Ken, we're going to be feeling like winter again by early next week.
Just wanted to hold on to it, but
me too.
We'll enjoy it while we've got it. Here's something you can enjoy. You're about to head out the door this morning, a rather stress-free morning commute as we take a live look at US 1 and 64 at Cary Parkway. Traffic flowing at a nice steady clip in all directions. And really, that's what we're seeing on all of our major routes. No delays whatsoever, short of a 1 minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, but I-40 east and westbound US 1 coming in from Apex, delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Clean air in your home. So good air quality is something to keep in mind as you begin spring cleaning. 5 on Your Side shares ways that you can reduce indoor air pollution without breaking the bank.
And if you see some breaking news, maybe you have a story tip or video or pictures of severe weather where you are, as long as you can do so safely, report it to us at WRAL.com/report it.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A special surprise for an Olympic figure skater.
Yeah, Ken Smith is here to talk about it and what's trending.
Yeah, the Olympics have been trending since it started, right? A big fan with a special surprise for U.S. figure skater Amber Glenn. Madonna sharing a video message with Glenn, who skates to her song Like a Prayer. She called Glenn strong, brave, and beautiful.
And just heap praise on her. Was so supportive of Amber Glenn. Of course, her free skate last night did not go as planned, and she is out of medical contention. But Madonna's a huge fan.
Yeah. Hopefully that's something that gives her a little encouragement after that tough loss.
100%.
All right, thanks, Ken. Well, your time this morning is 6:26. Danger on the trails. A Raleigh mom says someone flashed her while she was at Biltmore Hills Park. What police are doing after dealing with similar cases recently.
Property tax debate. How state lawmakers are trying to figure out the best way to lower them for North Carolinians.
And you don't have to grab the biggest heavy coat this morning. Our temperatures are much warmer in the 50s heading out the door. When you're sending the kids out, they're going to need to take those coats off this afternoon. 68, but mostly cloudy. I'll talk about when rain arrives coming up.